Yeah, welcome all to the fourth edition of Web3 Marketing Growth, this time on LinkedIn Live. Hi, EJ Ayala. Good to see you. This is where we discuss Web3 marketing, and today we'll go through actionable insights that you can leverage from data analytics. But before we go deep into that, I would like Michał, my colleague from Cookie3 and our co-host for today, to briefly introduce himself. Mike, it's yours, man.
Yeah, hi everyone. I am Michael and I'm a BD at Cookie3, and together with Antoni, will today provide you with some insights as he mentioned. And speaking about my role within Cookie3, I mainly operate with our clients, speak to them, help them to get onboarded on the platform, as well as help to manage their accounts. And yeah, I think I'm pretty stoked. This is my first LinkedIn Live, from Cookie3 perspective. So definitely, happy to give you some insights on what we are doing at Cookie3 and how our platform can be leveraged in terms of understanding essentially your Web3 marketing stack.
Thank you, Michał. And I'm Antoni, marketing manager at Cookie3, the usual host. Also, just on the side note, we are going with Michał on different conferences this month. Michał is coming to ETH Denver, and I'm coming to NFT Paris. So if any of you is coming to these conferences as well, write down in the comments. And remember, this session is supposed to be as interactive as possible. So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We'll answer them actually on the go, not at the very end of the webinar. So if anything is not clear, just write it down and we'll answer your concerns or doubts. So with all the organizational stuff said, I think we could get down to business. And today's webinar will be in form of theoretical background as well as product overview. So we'll go how the UTMs, links, and the conversion events are the basics of digital marketing, also in Web3. Then we'll go through the website analytics, and I will pass on the mic to Michał, who will guide you through more on-chain analytics, and I will be focusing on off-chain. So let me share the screen. Just give me a second.
Yeah, I'll take that second to say to AJ, definitely we should grab some coffee as you'll be attending the ETH Denver. So let's connect after the webinar and discuss some what would be the best time.
All right. So I will use actually Philip's newsletter, which I strongly recommend. Not gonna lie. And there are two basic aspects of data analytics in Web3. And the first one is UTM links, which are super old, but still super effective. Basically, UTMs are snippets added at the end of your URL, helping you to track the effectiveness of your online campaigns. So in this example, you can see that there is devstar.is. So this is where the traffic is going. Then we have a UTM source, the first UTM parameter, which are 4 in total. And this is where the traffic is coming from. Then we have UTM medium. This is how the traffic is getting there. And last but not least is UTM campaign. So why the traffic is going there. So you can see that by creating a UTM, you kind of give the traffic source or a particular URL more meaning. And that's what we are after. The second thing is conversion events. And conversion events, I messed it up a little bit. Yeah, I should be going here. Okay, so before we go to conversion events, let me show you how to create actually the UTMs. So in Cookie3, this is our platform. You can go to campaigns and choose one of the providers, let's say, one of the growth tools. Let me choose Hypelight. Create a new campaign. You can choose which website you would like to direct your users to. And then we have a campaign name, and I will launch it, I don't know, public beta, as we recently launched a public beta. And campaign medium is going to be a newsletter, because people are going through the newsletter. And campaign content, I don't know, is CDA, because there's going to be a CDA button at the end of the newsletter. We create a link, and boom, here we go. We have a URL, which starts, as you can see here, with www.cookie3.co. UTM campaign is public beta, UTM source hypelab, UTM medium newsletter, and UTM content CDA. So we exactly know where the traffic source is coming from in the hypelab campaign. Once we get discovered, so we set up UTM campaigns for our tweets, for our newsletter, for the influencer campaigns, essentially anywhere where people can click on, then it's essential to add conversion events. And you can set them up in Cookie3 as well. And these are both off-chain and on-chain. But before we go there, what are conversion events in the first place? So in Web3 marketing, conversion events are specific actions that users take which are significant to your marketing objectives. So let's say that my objective, I will take the example of Uniswap, and probably Michał, we can agree to use Uniswap throughout this demo. So their objective is that people swap a certain part of tokens. The objective may be to connect their wallet. The other objective is that they follow them on Twitter, and there's a button on the website. So there are different digital objectives that they can track their website against. So let's set one. Let's say we are looking for the Ethereum on-chain interaction. There is a swap specific token. Here we go. You place the smart contract. I must say that I didn't really prepare myself for that one, so I don't have a smart contract. We are choosing the website. Let's say it is uniswap.com, and then we can also assign the value. So we'll track only people coming from specific UTMs against swap of the tokens that are over, I don't know, $100. Why? Because we want to exclude bots or invaluable users. If you swap, like, I don't know, $30 on Uniswap, probably the majority will be covered by gas fees. But you know, this is not the user that we are maybe hoping to onboard. And yeah, when we create a goal, hit that button, the conversion event will appear here. The other conversion events, as I mentioned, are actually off-chain conversion events, which are pretty important too. Let's say that you are doing a token airdrop, or there's a specific landing page that people should visit. Then we can click the page visit, and I don't know, do the landing page subpage. So people can visit, and we'll check the traffic against it. If you have any question to conversion events or UTMs, once again, please write it in the comments.
There is one question, okay. Antoni. If you could zoom in a bit more, this would be helpful for some to notice it on the phone.
No problemo. All right. Thanks, Arina. Let us know if that's sufficient for you. Okay, so if there are no questions for UTMs, no conversion events, let's check actual analytics and what kind of conclusions we can draw. So yeah, let's select website. In this case, this is a demo website. And as you can see, there are different metrics. And don't worry, you won't get lost. And here, for example, you can see that there are over 3K visitors, out of which a half has a Web3 extension. and then 600 actually connect their wallet. So this
There
is
is
like a
another
Google
question, Antoni, if I may
Yeah, go ahead.
interrupt you here. We have a question about iOS cookie policy conversions. Is that something that from Gabriel? He's asking about how we tackle the iOS cookie policy.
Yeah, that's an excellent question. So for from till now, if the user declines to accept the cookie policy, how do we track the conversion? Of course, like Cookie3 does not breach any privacy policy, mainly GDPR. And of course, if they don't give the consent to track, then they are, out of the game. What is more, answering your question in terms of iOS, we are still developing a mobile tracking system and mobile analytics. So to be completely honest with you, I don't really know the answer to your question, but probably this is somewhat the case with the cookies. So I will definitely look into that. And Gabriel, if that's okay with you, I will reach out to you with a specific question after contacting with the lawyer. Yeah, so I can answer that. All right, so yeah, let's get back to business. Thanks for the question, Gabriel. So we know the marketing funnel, basically, of Web3 visitors on our website. What's more, we can see the data on location, which I think is pretty amazing, because we can see not only how many visitors are from specific country, but also how many wallets were connected. And sometimes there are discrepancies, that, I don't know, India is generating a lot of visitors, but at the same time, even though Ukraine has 2 times less, they generate 3 times more wallet connections. So maybe there's something to it, to both Indian and Ukrainian market, that we should look into that. Yeah, okay. I think we can go to acquisition report, which is one of my favorite. And here, the theoretical background that I just provided you of conversion events and UTMs pays off. Why? Because it's best to sort data and acquisition report by these metrics. And what acquisition reports tells you is which traffic types convert best, not in terms of only visits, but also in terms of wallet connections and conversion events that you set up. So let's take campaign source as our primary dimension. And you can see different campaign sources, different traffic sources. The first one is Hype. The second one is Twitter, YouTube, Cointelegraph, Discord, and so on, so on. And we can see that there are different number of visitors and different number of wallets actually connected to your website. So this is what Google Analytics, for example, lacks, and Cookie3 provides, is the wallet connections. And then we have goal conversions. So, for example, here we can see that Discord is on the top when it comes to goal conversion, right? And Hype is not that strong in this case. And by goal conversions, once again, I mean off-chain conversion events such as spend 2 minutes on your website or visit 3 pages, but also on-chain, such as interact with contract on Aave or sell something on Ethereum. And we can check, I don't know, another dimension, which is country. And once again, we have India and the wallets data. But when we look into goal conversions, that switch entirely our perspective and narrative, because now we can see that India is responsible for 130 conversion events, and at the same time, I don't know, Indonesia is 29, Brazil 59, and so on, so on. so we can get to know which countries we should focus on, because they provide us the most quality traffic. And then if you want to go even deeper to see what is behind the wallets of the people that come into your website, you can go very quickly to OnChain Analytics. So you can see, for example, that people coming from Christmas giveaway campaign, there were 150 wallets. Their balance is somewhat medium, but they are very experienced because the wallet age is pretty high, and they hold specific tokens such as Day stablecoin or Ethereum. So you can get to know, the user quality by different UTMs, which, for example, in one of our case studies, Notum, it was a game changer. Why? Because they checked the median wallet balance from specific campaigns. And it turned out that, for example, one KOL brought 1,000 users, but they had a median wallet balance of $100, and the other one brought, 100 users, so 10 times less, but their median wallet balance was $500, so 5 times more, in fact. So, getting into on-chain data can be an eye-opener onto which marketing channels, which marketing campaigns you should move your budget onto. And in that case, I can see if you have any questions for website analytics, go ahead. But now we'll go even deeper into on-chain analytics, and I'm giving the mic to Michał. Go on.
Perfect. So let me quickly share the screen with everyone so we can be on the same page here. Perfect. Let me know if you can see it already. I think we can. All right. So, everything. Perfect. So everything that Antoni mentioned up to this point, we were speaking only from a perspective of website visitors that we've collected with the script on your own website. But what we wanted to provide for our clients on top of that is an option to essentially screen through any holder community based on a specific token. And that's why we came up with our own version of Explorer. So I'm pretty sure the listeners might be familiar with Etherscan or essentially any other scan. This is our iteration of it, where essentially looking by any specific token, you can understand more about the specific group of wallets you're analyzing. And again, what we'll be using is the Uniswap for our example. So let's start things off with the overview data, because this is just like the top level of the data that we can provide for you. And what it gives you is, first of all, talking about price over time regarding specific token, then holders count over time, so we can notice if people are actually acquiring on getting rid of a specific token over time. And then we can go deeper into holders by balance value, holding time, as well as whales holding, in order to understand the breakdown of holdings of specific token. And then last but not least, but also something that might be interested for the marketers that are leveraging our platform, is the holder retention chart. And based on that, we can provide you daily, weekly, as well as monthly breakdowns of how the users are essentially holding a specific token, which you can see here. And this is just the overview data of a specific token. But as Antoni has shown you, we can also provide you breakdown of those specific communities based on a specific, wallet group. And in this question, we are seeing that right now on Ethereum, this is the amount of wallets that are holding the Uniswap token. And based on the data about their activity, we will also provide you with information regarding the amount of the active wallets. And apart from that, the same community analytics that Antoni has mentioned, such as transaction value medians, net worth medians among those wallets, community analytics looking from a perspective of their wallet age distribution, as well as balance and transactions. And this is the initial stage, so going over like the top data regarding that specific holder group of Uniswap token. But what we can do on top of that is also dive deeper into the other holdings coming from that specific wallet group. And as you can see in the Cookie3, we distinguish 4 token categories that might be interesting for our clients when analyzing the data. Obviously, if there were to, any new tokens arise on the market, we will be, also including them. But, let's start things off with those 4 categories. As you can see from each category, we'll provide you with the total as well as per wallet median regarding its holdings. Then for the convenience of analytics, we can also provide you data over time regarding specific tokens and the transaction count. And then you can go into more actionable insights regarding the tokens that are being held by Uniswap token holders again. So based on this, what we can do is understand which is the percentage of wallet holders when it comes to other tokens that are being held by Uniswap token holders, as you can see here. So based on that, what we can derive is, for example, 15% of Uniswap token holders on Ethereum hold the Chainlink token. Apart from just the ERC20 tokens, we can also dive deeper into the NFT collections that are being held by those holders, and we can notice at the top Sandbox Lands, Other Deed, and so on. So this is just like a really top overview of specific holdings that are being held by those visitors. And
Michał, can I add something to it? Because I just reminded myself of a nice use case of this kind of data, which is actionable. And one of our clients actually saw that 60% of their users coming to their DEX had USDT on their wallets, while their product did not offer swaps between USDT and other tokens. So they were like, wait, like 60% of their wallet portfolio cannot be swapped on our DEX. It doesn't make sense. So after seeing this data, they just made a simple decision. Let's add USDT and let's make use of these holdings. So I just wanted to add that.
Exactly. And, when looking, for example, from a perspective of analyzing a specific NFT collections and holders of that specific NFT collection, we can see that, this tool could be a quite nice way of distinction of which typically, companies we could work with in terms of collaboration opportunities. Because let me give you an example of, the well-known Bored Ape Yacht Club. As you can
sorry
see,
to interrupt you for the second time, but one of our guests asked the question, can you export the wallet list based on targeting?
Yeah, so to give you a quick example, for sure, this can be done in the export panel, where you're able to export a specific group of wallets. But I would say that I would provide you with more in-depth explanation about how the exports can be done in a second, as we will go towards sharing data regarding our filtering engine. So a quick answer is yes, definitely, but there is more depth when it comes to the options, when it comes to the exporting of any data types here. So coming back to the holdings and the discussion regarding specific other collections that might be in the wallets of users you're analyzing, I wanted to give you an example regarding Bored Ape Yacht Club, which everyone could be familiar with. And based on the data, we can notice immediately that obviously Yuga Labs is taking the biggest part of the portfolio coming from the wallets that we are analyzing. We can notice Mutants, Other Deed, as well as Kodas. But apart from that, when we go deeper, we can see Doodles, for example, or Azuki, and even Pudgies. So based on this, potentially NFT collections could distinguish which partners could be a great fit, because obviously our communities are already overlapping when it comes to their holdings. And coming back to Uniswap, the main example here, the next panel that I wanted to dive into is the activity. So, in the Web2, when you're building your personas and trying to understand data regarding what they are doing on the internet, it is not fully interoperable. And that's what Web3 is changing with the narrative regarding the usage of blockchain. And based on that data, what we can do is, upon querying a specific token, we can provide you with the exact usage of specific on-chain platforms that people were, people were using here. So first of all, what we'll show you is the categories of the apps the clients, the holders of Uniswap token were interacting with. As you can see, it ranges from DeFi, farming, staking, NFTs, or lending. But then we can dive deep into the actual platforms that they were interacting with based on the volume as well as transaction count. And as you can see, the biggest use of coming from Uniswap token holders is right here, 1inch Network, Lido, and then we can see other DeFi protocols such as Dodo, Curve, and so on. And to give you a use case that could be aligned with this is essentially when looking at holders of your specific token group, let's say we would be a DEX that would release its own token, Uniswap in question, we can notice that our clients are interacting with other DEXs. This might be coming due to the fact that they are using some of Uniswap liquidity pools, but in general, this can provide you with a clear overview of what your clients are doing when it comes to interaction with, for example, some of your competition. Apart from just top data regarding most popular dApps used by your clients, we can provide you with overtime data regarding the first categories of dApps and their overtime data usage, as well as most popular dApps overtime, as you can see. And we'll list those transactions, how it has been changing over time. But the picture wouldn't be finished without also including CEXs in the mix. So centralized exchanges. What we'll do is first provide you with most popular CEXs used by this particular wallet group, and then we can go also into the inflows and outflows coming from that specific holder group, as well as total flow volume over time. And this is
if I may add something to it, because guys, like on-chain data is in this context basically an outlook into user behavioral preferences. And once again, in one of our case studies, which we wrote together with Dyson Finance, they saw in the most popular CEXs that the most popular one is OKX. They reached out to OKX. It turned out that they have good network in there, and they implemented a good partnership and nice marketing campaign. And this is a data-driven decisions. They knew that their actual users will connect to that marketing campaign because they are pretty much customers of both Dyson Finance and OKX. So this is like a synergy effect at its best.
Yeah, exactly. And when it comes to deriving some more actionable, points that you can take from our Explorer, one thing is being able to analyze each particular holder group by an ERC20 as well as 7-to-1 tokens, so both the fungibles and non-fungibles. But what we wanted to provide our clients with is an option to create their own marketing personas based on the specific on-chain as well as off-chain data. And in order to do that, we prepared our filtering engine that, as you can see, leverages both on-chain as well as off-chain data points in order to create the set audience that we wish to target. So let's start things off with the off-chain filters. Those would be available to analyze if a client holding a particular token, this time Uniswap in question, would connect their wallet to your website. And based on that, you can select a specific website and then see the amount of wallets that are matching your criteria. But in this case, let's focus mainly more on the on-chain side in order to give you some of those insights. And as you can see, it's pretty self-explanatory. We can leverage activity filters as well as network filters or holdings, and then also some of the buy-selling interactions or maybe interactions with specific smart contracts. And then if you wish, you can also upload a CSV file based on which you can create that specific group of wallets that you wish to target. So let's say that our DEX, so Uniswap in question, would like to create their own marketing persona. So how this can be done is, let's select some activity filter. Let's say we would like to only look at Uniswap token holders that had some activity after the beginning of this year. What we would add on top of that is definitely net worth, because we wouldn't like to attract those low liquidity customers. Let's try to attract people that have only net worth over 1K. And then on top of that, let's say we would like to target people that are, buying some other token. Let's say it will be Link in question, as we have previously analyzed that 15% of Uniswap token holders hold the Chainlink token. And based on that and the criteria we distinguished here, as you can see, we can narrow down the amount of wallets we are analyzing from over 300,000 into 18,000, as you can see here. Obviously, there is an option also to add some time ranges here, but let's save that audience. Let's save it as a uni holder. Let's save it as a uni holder that buys Link. And after saving the said audience and coming back to your question, Chinmay, we can go into advertise section, select the audience that we've just created, and based on that audience, Cookie3 will provide you with some of the matching Twitter handles coming from that particular wallet group. So this is essentially another way of how you can utilize our Explorer, creating your marketing persona that you wish to narrow down by the specific filters, later to come to our advertising section and be able to retarget those users based on the specific on-chain criteria through Twitter ads, or even, what we recently noticed is that there is also a possibility for our clients to run ambassadors campaigns that would target those people, mention them, also reach out to them about the specific things happening in the space regarding a specific text that they might be representing. And as you can see, we can have an option here to export those Twitter handles. And essentially, this is like the next step within our platform in order to be able to reach out to the desired audience. Would you add something to that, Antoni, here?
Yeah, I just wanted to add the potential use cases once more for the Twitter handles, because we get asked pretty much about it. So the first thing that you can utilize this list, a CSV with Twitter handles that exactly matches your target persona from the on-chain data, is using it for Twitter ads. You can input this data into Twitter ads campaign creator, let's say, and then those Twitter users will actually see your ad. The second thing, if you want to get super personal, for example, you are, I don't know, scheduling an X space, and this is about a new product update, a launch, whatever that is. So you can actually DM those users with, hey, come to our X spaces because we know that you are into DeFi, and that's it. Like, don't try to sell them anything yet. Just try to convert them to come to you, get to know your brand, and so on and so on. So these are like two use cases that I love the most.
Perfect. So I think when it comes to on-chain analytics regarding what we have within our Explorer and advertising, that's it. And I think that maybe let's see if there will be any questions regarding this part. And I hope, Chinmay, I have answered your question. So apart from being able to export lists of wallets based on a specific criteria that we've mentioned here, so after specific filters, let's say of a net worth over 1K, we would be able to export only the specific wallets that are matching that criteria in our export here, or then even create that Web3 marketing audience and export matching Twitter handles. Yeah, I think that's it from that perspective. Do we have something to add here when it comes to the campaigns?
Not really, not from my side. Also, I cannot see any questions yet. So I think that we can slowly start to wrap up the session. Just at the end, guys, remember, like, what we are trying to convey here, essentially, is data analytics. Like, it's not that difficult as it seems. It sometimes may be overwhelming, but we find that most of our users, most of our customers are saving like tons of time because they don't need to analyze their data on Dune Analytics, on Scan. They finally have a centralized tool, which is cookie-free, and 1 hour per week is quite enough to get to know your users, to get to know your marketing channels performance, and so on, so on. Yeah, so just go for it. If you have any questions, just reach out to me or Michał. We are more than happy always to answer them. And if you are looking for, I don't know, you are interested in that topic, I can only encourage you to follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, and come to our blog. This is where we share all our knowledge. And stay tuned for more Web3 marketing growth and events like these. We have a whole series. I don't know if I can do it, but okay, let's do it. I can share the alpha that we will be scheduling live events with Magic, which is like one of the most prominent wallet as a service products. So this is going to be huge. Yeah, so I cannot wait to see you there. I think we can wrap up, Michał. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to add
Thank you very
something.
much, guys. Yeah, so I think that the exact thing you've mentioned regarding the usage of our platform, all of the data that you're looking at when looking at it from Web3 perspective might be really complex, especially for someone that's just a beginner. But essentially what we wanted to do is provide you with a tool that incorporates the functionalities of already well-established platform and provides you this data in a really accessible way that's really easy to understand. So if you would like to try it, it's fully available right now. As Antoni mentioned at the beginning, we've launched with the public beta some time ago. And apart from that, thank you very much for everyone who's attended us today. And hope to see you on the next iterations of the Web3 marketing growth.
See you, folks. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.